Entertainment headlines.
Entertainment headlines.
Entertainment headlines.
This is
The Buzz.
Morning and welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. We are going to be talking about the Sharjah International Film Festival for Children and the Youth, which kicked off early this week. And the big theme is Think Film. And to talk to us in greater detail about this festival, we're very, very kindly joined by Sheikha Jawaher, bint Abdulla Al Qassimi, who is the director of FUNN. A very good morning to you. And talk to us about how this fully virtual event works. It's the first time you're doing it.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. And yes, as you said, this is the first time we fully do it virtually. We normally plan a year ahead for the festival itself. And that while we were planning, it was kind of risky to, because of what's happening in the world, to actually go through with an actual event, especially with dealing with children. So as you said, yes, it's the first of a virtual event, and we try to make it as attractive and as easy to navigate as possible. So just to give you a quick glance on how it works, you just log into the website, you register, log into the platform. So when you go into the festival, you feel that you're transformed into a kind of a different, not a typical website. It's like a 3D platform where you can navigate. And the funny thing is that I got a lot of feedback from children saying, this is so cool, it looks like the games that we play. So you kind of walk around, go to the screening area, workshops, entertainment, sponsor booths. So everything is like a virtual kind of game or platform.
As we're speaking, I'm actually looking at the website, and it is so fun. It's so colorful, and it is so easy to use as well. So exactly what you just said. So who do the list of movies appeal to the most?
Well, we're actually screening 80 films from more than 38 countries. Mm-hmm. So that diversity that we have of different cultures and different countries, that's the first attraction where, we know a lot of people, let's say, are into, for example, Korean culture. So that would attract them to different cultures and different countries where they want to know more about, how they live or their traditions and everything else. As well as we have some premiere films. So we have around 6 world premieres being screened for the first time in the world in the film festival itself. So being attracted to what's happening and what's new, that's another thing. And as well, depending obviously on the age group and depending on the theme and the topic of the film, that's what attracts us. We have different types of animations. We have kind of clay animation, oil pastel animations, shorts, documentaries. So it's like a pool of kind of everything where you can just pick what attracts you or what you relate to the most.
Well, we've had a look at the movies that are being screened as part of the festival, and some of these films are pretty complex and they deal with nuanced topics. So can you talk to us about the power of film and the ability of children and young people to fully engage with these subject matters and movies, and why it's important to highlight those topics as well?
Yes, of course. As you know, the festival has expanded in the last 2 years to not only include children films, but as well youth. And the youth caliber is up to 30 years old. So that gives us, it gives us like an expansion of what topics to kind of put in. And as well, the medium of film, how to kind of reach out to different people from all ages, is so powerful. As you know, it's very easy to kind of remember that part of the movie that touched you the most. So it's so easy to kind of convey your goal or your messages throughout film as well. And we do kind of, as you said, touch on different kind of topics like friendship, war, trauma, siblings, culture. So I think it's a variety of ways and films that attract different people. It's very strong. The main reason or the main vision and mission of the festival is to as well kind of support children and youth to kind of put their voices out there and start making films to speak about their experiences, their stories, how to kind of outreach to different children around the world, not only in the UAE as well.
I want to touch upon this aspect of how can do we have to follow a set time, or is it like a video on demand type of a service where I log onto the website, browse through and watch any film that I want at my own time of convenience?
Well, that's a really good question, because everyone thinks it's, kind of like the Netflix kind of platform way. It's much, much harder. You should have seen the papers we've signed, talking about security of films that we need to make sure are not kind of spread out, copyrights. We make sure that filmmakers, that's a professional kind of safe environment where they can share their films as well. And we've also learned this from attending different online festivals. So that even as a filmmaker, I would feel safe that my film is screened on an international platform, but it's not over-screened where that anyone can see it at any time. It's still kept special. So that's why we have the actual program of the whole festival on the website. So you kind of know way ahead of time when this film is screened, what timing, and then you can kind of adjust your schedule around that.
So let's get down to it. Throwing out some titles here. What are some of the not to miss movies from your perspective?
Well, there are two made in UAE films. One is called Childhood Trauma, and the other is Don't Give Up as well. And there's a film called Last Round. It's an animated short film. It's about sibling love and emotionally, like the film as well, Sweet Taste of Darkness. The Russian animated film, The Little Boat That Wanted to Fly, that won an award in the Best Children's Film Award and 2020 World Festival of Animated Film. There's also a film called Ander. It won the jury prize on the Cannes Independent Film Festival as well. And there's also a film called Comfortable Position. It's about, it's an interesting theme. It's centered around dreams and sleep. And it's made by children from Uzbekistan that are around 8 to 12 years old.
And it's something you've touched on earlier is within the event you have these workshops, and you also seem to encourage young people to get involved in the craft of filmmaking. Can you talk to us about the importance of promoting that for young people as a medium for self-expression and creativity?
Yes, we have around more than 30 workshops happening throughout the festival as well. And it touches kind of different aspects and, sections of filmmaking. So if you want to be a scriptwriter, there's a workshop about writing. If there's an acting, how to animate. Like I saw a video on our social media yesterday of a child, cutting paper and taking a picture of, that's literally the baby step of starting animations. So by getting these skills out there, and as you know, especially with filmmaking and with animation, it's a really long process. It takes time. So start young and start early as much as we can. So having that is really important, because it's, as much as we do like it to be kind of a leisure film festival where people walk in, enjoy it, watch films, we still need to keep that educational kind of section in it where they leave and they learn at least one thing. So the simple thing can be an eye-opener for them to kind of know where they want to be in the future. Watching films and seeing different children make films might inspire them as well to kind of start that journey themselves.
And what have you seen over the years with young filmmakers and their development? One thing that I've noticed is the popularity of digital media, social media. Kids seem to be a lot more savvy with software. For example, they make these TikTok videos and they're edited very, very well. So are you seeing a lot more excitement among young people to produce pieces and films and things of that nature?
Yes, actually. And I was talking about this as well previously, saying we're kind of every year we're trying to kind of chase whatever is new in the area. What are the kids doing? What do they like to do? But obviously kind of make it work to our benefit and theirs as well. So, okay, instead of saying, come in, do a filmmaking workshop, so that lasts for 2 weeks, very extensive, which specific children or youth would be interested in. We're also introducing simpler kind of, iPhoneography, how to take a video using your iPhone, drone photography, things that are kind of hip and in the area and whatever is attracting them at that time. Game making, short videos, as you said, TikTok videos, but obviously, to make them more, we try to kind of make them more focused on, instead of doing, just a random TikTok video, why not make it as for example, a social involvement video, something that people will learn from it, give an advice, kind of looking at the positive side of everything.
It's amazing, isn't it? Now, I'd like to know a little bit more about the history of SIF. Like I've been covering it for a number of years, and we've been in contact for quite some time about the event itself. So, what's been the success story? Have we seen some of these young filmmakers go out and make it big in over the years? Who've been taking part and showcasing their works at the SIF?
Yes, we do have a lot of children that we've in FUNN worked with. And it does take time, they need a year. And the thing that we really focus on is, because we have a category in the film festival that are films made by children.
Yep.
So obviously we cannot accept all of the films that are submitted. So what we do with the children that their films are not accepted, we do kind of a session with them and kind of explain to them why their films are not submitted, teach them the right way to do it, give them pointers, make them involved in workshops to kind of improve these kind of films and resubmit them the next year. So it's a learning process mostly. So it's nice to see that, for example, a boy screened his film, whereas his film was rejected, let's say 3 years ago. He said, I took my time, worked on it, improved it, and now there it is. And the excitement and the pride that we see in their faces, and they've been winning awards, whether here or as well internationally. But it's a main goal for us is now to take these films more into international film festivals out there and kind of put them in the map and make them kind of start their journey young as well.
So the Sharjah International Film Festival, it's been going on for many years now. So what makes this year's edition exceptional and different from the previous editions?
Well, when they say that, I kind of smile, because when I go to other film festivals, they're like 60 years old and 70 years old, and then we're like 8. And we feel, although it's been 4, I'm proud to say 4 film festivals in the UAE and in Sharjah, it has placed its mark. We have a lot of calls coming in every year around the same time saying, is this happening? People are waiting for it. It's there. People know it, especially in Sharjah, and it's saying it's just 8 years old. It's still a big step as well. What makes it different this year is because it's virtual. We are kind of attracting people from all around the world to attend it. So we've had registrations from Palestine, from Russia, from Iraq, from the United States, from Singapore. So that's kind of, and if you've seen the platform, as you just said, you'd see that we deliberately had some icons of Sharjah and Khor put in the platform.
True. To
kind of give that kind of, exposure to Sharjah as well. So there's House of Wisdoms, there's the amphitheater of Khor, the waterfalls. So that as well is a kind of an attraction. So hopefully we do meet people in person by next year. That's our main goal for next year. So they've kind of gotten a glimpse of Sharjah and how it looks like. And then hopefully we do have, we've met people who actually flew in 2 years ago before the pandemic just to attend the festival. They walk in, they booked their own tickets, and they flew in from different parts of the world just to attend the festival as well.
Incredible. Well, we're loving the vibes, and we're hoping that we can catch some of these films ourselves as well, virtually, and hopefully my family over in the UK and different parts of the world will now, after this interview, say, you know what? We're attending it, so we're looking forward to that. So
I just signed up, by the way.
Oh, did you?
I just registered.
So we've had new
Brilliant.
registration from Sharjah.
Yes.
Halwan area, this is it. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Sheikha Jawaher. And we look forward to catching up with you at some point soon as well. You were listening to Sheikha Jawaher bint Abdulla Al Qassimi, who is the director of FUNN and also running this Sharjah International Film Festival for children and youth. To catch this discussion, you can do so on YouTube, SoundCloud and Apple Podcast, as well as Spotify. And we'll be right back after some more musical entertainment as well as the business headlines. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.